Hello, hello, lovely ladies.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Hello.
so good to see everybody. I love our buddy calls. It's such a good time for us to get together, connect with one another, check in, talk about all the good stuff, all the complicated stuff. So let's get right into it. Who has some wins that they'd like to share with us this evening? If you want, you can raise your hand.
I do.
All right, yeah, let's go, Rocky.
Well, I went to a seminar this weekend. It was about a 4-hour drive. And that night I was by myself. And I went someplace that I haven't been to since my husband passed away. And he was, food was important to him.
Oh,
I get a little teary here. Um, he grew up of modest means, a farm boy. He was the only child of parents that worked very hard, and he became an accountant. By the time he was 20, he had his own office opened. And his joy was to take his parents to lunch after church every week, just to be able to do that. So that leads into Friday night. I hadn't been to an Outback since he passed away. So food was big for us. It was big for him. It was a privilege. It was a blessing. Friday night, I ate 1 inch off the end of the little loaf of bread. I love the crust on the end. I ate a quarter of the potato, and I ate the whole steak and salad.
all
So I
right.
consider that a very big win. So
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you for sharing that, Rocky. I know that had to be a whole mix of emotions.
definitely. And
Yeah.
I have been sick since Saturday night, so I probably won't make it the whole hour.
Oh,
So
well, that's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. How did it feel to be there? Aside, I mean, you had a win with the food, which is great, but how did it feel to be there?
it was very brought back a lot of memories. Um, there was some sadness, but there was some joy. And sports were very big for us. And I sat at a little booth inside the bar area, and there were sports on TV. So I felt like he was there with me.
Oh,
So
oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. That's a big step to go back to a place like that that means so much to you and has so many memories tied to it. But there's also a lot of healing in that,
yes,
to be able to go and just be there.
yeah,
I'm proud of you
definitely.
for that. That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, thank you so much. All right, who else wants to share with us? Got me a little misty-eyed here. Who else has got to win? This is our time to share what's been going on and what's been going well.
Uh, let's see.
Yeah, Jill, I see you there. Go right ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I'm trying to figure out a specific thing. I went to a buffet at my synagogue and I brought a salad because there's a lot of unhealthy food there. And I was able to eat that and then pick out a few things I liked and didn't feel like cheated. Didn't feel like cheating because I didn't have the pizza and I didn't have the chicken nuggets and, just was able to have what I had. And then today I went out to lunch with a friend and I did get a bison cheeseburger, which is not the healthiest thing, but I decided it was okay. And I didn't overeat. I had that, and we had these little teeny tiny, they have these little petite desserts and a little dessert in a little tiny cup. I had that, and and tonight I had a really light dinner because of it. So I just feel like I'm balanced. I'm doing balanced eating. I'm not overeating, which is a win. I'm
Good.
picking
Yeah,
and
that's awesome,
choosing
Jill.
what's good for me, and I'm able to tune out what's not good.
Yes, yes, that's amazing. That's perfect. That's what we want to go for, right? Is ultimately having that balance, you know? We don't want to have all of the restriction. We don't want to go crazy either, but it's good to be able to indulge a little bit here and there and, and then come back to your normal eating patterns. So it sounds like you were doing that beautifully. It sounds like it feels good for you, is working well for your life. So that's perfect. That
Thank
is
you.
amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
All
welcome.
right, Lori, you're up next.
Hi, showing up is a win for me. I
Yeah,
was thinking,
awesome.
I got the email saying lesson 4 open, and I started to panic like I'm so behind. And I thought, no, 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 that's not the way to treat this. And then actually, I would say even today is the first time that I've always had a goal of I want to be 160 pounds, and and then I've been a success and I've conquered the food, but actually it's not that. I mean, that would be great and that happens, that's wonderful, but it's what I want even more is to be free from food obsession, of thinking about it, it taking over my day, like it's a huge part of my lifestyle and I'm tired of it. I want to be free from that. So that was a revelation for me today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's really what it's about. That's really what most of us are after at the end of the day is freedom, right? We think we want the weight loss, we think we want a certain number, but if you keep digging down, why do I want to hit that weight? Why is that important to me? It's because at the end of the day, we want freedom, right? We want to feel free in our bodies. We want to feel free of all this food noise, all of the stress around it, constantly thinking about counting calories and weighing this and weighing that. It's a lot to keep up with. So, yeah, you're on the right track. You're in the right place. So, I'm so glad you joined us tonight. And yeah, just dive back into your courses. I know they send them out to you every week or two. So sometimes you get that feeling, that anxiety that, oh no, I'm behind, but really there is no behind, right? Everybody is just where they are in their journey. You should have lifetime access to your actual courses. There's been a little dispute about this behind the scenes, but I talked to Brittany the other day, and she had confirmed that the courses you actually do have lifetime access to those. So if you're falling a little bit behind, if you're a few weeks behind, feel free to just give yourself a little break for that and get back to it when you can. It gives you the ability to go back and revisit some of those sections when you need to, or spend a little time extra where you need to as well. So you are doing just fine. All right, thanks, Lori. Who else would like to share with us?
I will.
Hey, Debbie.
Hi. Last night my daughter and I went and we went to the pizza place, and usually whenever I go over there, I used to get a big old heaping bowl full of salad and just other stuff that they had on the buffet there, salad bar. And last night I got about half or a little less than half of what I used to get, and I couldn't even eat it all.
Oh, wow.
I ate probably about 2/3 of what I put on the plate or on the bowl, but it was just so much less than what I used to eat.
Yeah,
So I
that's
was
awesome.
amazed.
Yeah, it's amazing when you're doing this work, those little changes, they take place in our subconscious, right? That's what we're rewiring. And that's what feels so surprising a lot of times about doing this work is because you're not trying to eat less. You're not making an effort the way that you do when you're on a diet and you're trying to be good, right? It just happens. So, yeah, that's a very good feeling. So, how did it feel to leave that extra food on your plate? Was there any guilt around that, or it felt okay to just leave it there?
Absolutely. It didn't bother me a bit.
Good. Well, good, Debbie. I'm so glad to hear that. That's a good win. Good job. All right, keep it up. You guys are doing great today. Who else would like to share with us? Little
Okay.
wins, big wins, food related, not food related, anywhere that you're having a win in life, we'd love to hear from you.
I'm happy to share, Casey.
Yeah. Hey,
Can
Maddie.
you hear me? Hi.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, we chatted a lot about restaurants and me falling apart in the restaurants, and I just haven't been managing the to push away the plate at dinner in a restaurant. So I thought I'd change it up a bit, and I tried breakfast, and I just got back from a breakfast, and I ate half and pushed it away and covered it with a serviette, or what do you call them, paper napkins. Covered it with a
Napkins.
paper napkin and completely forgot about it. So
Oh, wow.
yay,
That's
big
huge,
win.
Maddie.
Yeah, now I just got to translate that to a dinner and we'll be on the right track.
Yeah, maybe we try lunch next.
Lunch is next. Okay, we'll do lunch next.
Yeah, that's
Baby step.
amazing. I'm so
Yeah.
excited to hear that, Maddie. I know that's been a challenge for you for a
Oh,
while, so that's a
such
really
a
big win.
challenge. Yeah,
Yeah. And that's
thank you.
exactly what we want. You know, when you push that food away, you put the napkin over it or whatever, and you just forget about it. You know, we're not worried
Yeah.
that it's there. You're not thinking about it. That's exactly what we're going for. Awesome.
The learning for me has been when the first time doesn't work or you don't manage it, to change it up, to do something different every time. Because I
Mm.
kept trying the dinners and then I tried to order something different and then I tried to get them to take the bread basket away and then, fourth time, fifth time, sixth time, 10th time, lucky, yay. So,
Mhm.
just keep changing the way you approach things, I think is the learning for me. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a really good piece of advice for everybody, right? Is to think outside the box a little bit, approach it from a different angle. You know, if it's
Mm.
not quite sticking, try a different aspect of it, try a different meal and, attack it from that angle. Now that you've had success with the breakfast, that's doing a little bit of repatterning inside of
Mm.
you in your subconscious. It's changing that relationship with food. So it'll be interesting to see how that starts to translate over into your other meals.
Yeah, can't wait. May have
Yeah.
to go out for lunch.
Yeah. Exactly. Ah,
Okay, thanks.
thank you. All right. Who else would like to share? Or if anybody has any questions too, I'll open that up. Oh, Marlene, I see you raised your hand. Oh, you're on mute.
Okay.
There you
How about
go.
now? Good
Yep.
now?
Yep.
Okay. Um, I don't know if it's necessarily food related, but it probably will turn into that. And that is my housing situation has just been so nerve-wracking with the place going up for sale, and then people are coming to look at it, and there was a lot of non-communication between the person that's in charge of selling the house, the family member, and other family members, and me. And I think it's finally gotten resolved to the point that it's not all this stress on what one's thinking or what another's thinking. I'm open to showing the place. I just needed to get it ready, and and then it was okay with me, but it was kind of just dropped on me one day. People are coming tomorrow, and I was like, what? You know? Anyways, so I've come to a level of acceptance over the week that, yeah, I'm probably going to have to move. And instead of panicking, I looked at this sheet that I made for 2026 goals, and on that, I thought I saw I've got 3 to 4 months once I am told I need to they want the house. I got 3 to 4 months. So it kind of took the panic out of it. And the panic is definitely something that causes me to eat because
I think what it is, it's a feeling of lack of control. And then I go back into that stuffing myself mode to try and feel like I'm in control. Anyways, and the one thing I haven't won on yet is the late night before bed, looking for pastries, right? Looking for anything sweet. That's still a challenge for me. So anything you can speak on to that again, I just need to get that drilled in here. But
Yeah, I
anyways,
mean, definitely everything that you've got going on related to the move and the uncertainty around that situation brings up all those feelings of lack of control, which at the end of the day, a lot of times there's fear around that, and there's a lack of safety, a lack of stability. And so all of those things can drive us to eat emotionally because food not only makes us feel better, but it's very grounding. And a lot of us have learned to
mhm,
associate food with comfort and safety. So it totally makes sense that that would be spiking for you a little bit. So now that you've had a little bit of acceptance around the moving situation,
yeah.
um, that should give you a little more space and control to be able to deal with the emotional eating aspect of it. So when you do have that urge to late night snack, when you notice that coming up, see if you can do the push the food away and just see what's there. See what that feeling is that comes up. Notice if there's fear. Notice if there's a lack of safety or feeling alone or whatever might be behind that, and see if you can echo tap on it and try to, give yourself the comfort and the security that you're actually looking for rather than asking the food to do that. Just see how that goes. And, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, maybe you can do it or maybe not. But just see if you're even able to push it away and sit with the feeling and see how far you can go with that. And like Brittany says, it's not like you have to do these techniques all the time. If you can just do it half the time, you'll still get incredible results. So, don't feel like you've got to do that every single night. The other thing that came to mind around the moving situation, any type of stress or instability like that, like I said, it brings up those feelings of not being safe, not being secure, and it kind of puts your nervous system into a survival state, right? It triggers that part of you. And
Mhm.
so, energetically, hormonally, that kind of stress also causes you to hold on to weight, right? Because your body is in a fear state, and so it's in a survival state. It's trying to hold on to everything. So bringing some acceptance around all that, having a little more peace around it, will also allow your body, your nervous system to relax, allow your cortisol to start to come down and regulate. So, just try to be supportive of yourself during this time too, making sure you're getting plenty of rest, eating nutritious food, that kind of stuff, because those external cues that we give ourselves by good rest, by all of those things help to show our body that we're safe as well, helps get you out of that fight or flight state.
Thank you, Casey. I really
Yeah.
appreciate all that wisdom. Thank you.
Yeah, you are so
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah.
All right. Jill, I see your hand up again.
I have a procedural question. When I go into my calendar, is the laser coaching calls in there? Are all the calls in the calendar, or is it just the buddy calls and some of the study groups and orientation calls?
Yes. So the tapping circle calendar should have all of the calls. If you're in Thrive or if you're in the 6 week program, it's got all of the calls for those and for tapping circle. So that includes these buddy calls, Brittany's laser calls are both in there, and all of the study group sessions, and also the welcome calls.
Okay, so that I don't have to worry about missing anything. If I put them in my calendar, everything will be there.
Yes, they should be. I know in the Facebook group, Lena I think she puts a link to download them into your calendar. But also, if you go into your members area, go into the tapping circle, and the tapping circle call schedule is on there. That has the calendar with all of the calls as well.
Okay,
We are
thank you.
looking to streamline those a little bit, just to let you guys know, because I know there has been a little confusion about all the different links for the calls and the passwords and all of that. So we're looking to streamline those in the future so that there's not so many different links and try to make it easier for everybody. So stay tuned for that. We haven't done anything on that yet, but it's been a discussion point and something that we're looking to roll out here in the future.
Okay.
All right. Who else has got a question? Question or a share?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this until she was talking about fear. I mean, and I'm going to get emotional about this, but it just came up that for whatever reason, well, I know, okay, back in the like 89, from like I had like 7 people leave me, die within like an 8-year period. I mean, every year in so many months, somebody died. And so that left me with a lot of fear because I was always afraid somebody was going to die. And I have done really well until my husband died. And then throughout the year, I probably have mentioned it, I've had like, I don't know, 8 people that either have been close to me or related to me have died this year in the last year and few months. Now I have that fear again. And whenever she was talking about fear, it made me think, what do I need to do? What do I need to tap on? That maybe some of my eating is related to that fear. Fear of losing. If somebody I know, like my daughter goes home every weekend, fear of something happening. And I tell myself all the time, God has not given me a spirit of fear, but there's still something there.
Yeah. As far as how that affects your eating patterns, I would look to the eating patterns themselves. So you always use that as a window to see what exactly is behind it. Now, if you notice that that fear is coming up, that's something that's present for you, it's affecting your life, you can just tap around that fear. Just do normal tapping around that fear and vocalize, or you can think all of the statements around that fear, what it is that you're afraid of, what you're afraid is going to happen, what does that mean? And just let yourself verbalize all of that and get it out and allow that emotional charge to come down through the tapping. After you tap for a while, that fear will start to subside and calm down. And then you can program in more trusting thoughts around it. Things that are rooted in your faith, for example, or, I recognize that this is, just an old pattern. I recognize that because I've had so much loss, that part of me gets triggered easily, but I give that part of me permission to rest. Right now, I just choose to be in the present moment and just try to focus on staying present with it, right? And not letting, the future fears, the anxiety, we call it future tripping. When you start like thinking about all the things that could happen, we try to let that go and just bring the awareness back to the present. And I think, your faith is a big part of that too. Like you said, God doesn't give you a spirit of fear, right? Okay. So that's how I would recommend that you work through that. It makes sense to me that, a lot of that fear would come from your history of having so much loss in small amounts of time, like so many losses back to back. You can also try to echo tap on that if you want and trace that fear back and see if there is like a childhood link to that. Something that that fear represents for you, that loss. You'd want to dig into the fear a little bit more to see what exactly are you afraid of? You know, is it the feeling of loss, the feeling of being alone? You know, what's kind of behind it? And maybe echo tap around that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, who's next? Any other questions, check-ins, feedback? Or does anybody have anything specifically? Oh, Marlene, there you are.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Okay, so I get confused between ball of light and echo tapping, and I don't remember even which one you told me to do, so I need to write it down. But which one is it that you suggested?
I told you echo tapping.
Echo tapping.
So ball of light is the one that we use on cravings.
Okay.
So that's going to be for a specific food where you have a positive memory tied to it. And we
Okay.
imagine like scooping up all those good feelings into a ball of light and sharing them with the person that this food reminds us of. Echo tapping is what we use for any emotional eating. So when you get
Thank
that
you.
urge to late night snack, when you're just kind of going for what's there, that's the technique that we would use.
Okay. And then what's the push the food away one attached to?
That is attached to echo tapping.
Okay.
So we push the food away as a way for us to access the emotions that lead us to the echo.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the push the food away technique, you can use that for a lot of different things. You can push a lot of things away, basically. So anytime you feel like you're reaching for a habit, something where you know you're kind of checking out or using something to self-soothe, you know, it could be alcohol. It could be, for some people, it's games on their phone. You know you're going to that habit, push that thing away from you, put it down, push it away from you, and see what feeling comes up, because that's what we need to deal with.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions, feedback? And if not, I know I've spoken with a few of you today. We've addressed a few different issues. Is there anyone that would like to do a tapping on their specific issue with the group? I know I've kind of given everybody some advice on how to handle different things. And if not, that's okay. Lori, all right, come on up.
I would, well, I guess this is obvious, but I think I just eat too much. Like I eat, when I eat at dinner, I eat big portions. When I eat at breakfast, I eat like a lot. And I just have no idea what portions I should be eating. So, like, I was thinking about push the food away at the restaurant that we were at. And I was like, I didn't even think of it, first of all. And then after I thought about it, I said, oh, yeah, no way I could do that. So there's something about I need to eat a lot in order to feel safe.
Yeah. And that, I think you said you just got lesson 4 sent to you.
Oh,
And
yes.
I think that's the one, don't clean your plate.
Okay. Okay.
That's what we want to do for you. And I don't know if we have time to do that here. Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. Okay. So, all right. So what I want you to do, when you do this actual lesson, you'll want to actually have a plate of food in front of you. But for our purposes here, we can just do a visualization of it. Are you okay with doing this with the group? Okay, cool. All right, so I want you to think about one of your favorite meals. So go ahead and close your eyes for me, and I want you to think of one of your favorite meals, and tell me what that meal is.
It'd be like a prime rib dinner.
Oh boy, prime rib dinner. All right. Okay, so see that plate of food in front of you. I want you to notice how it looks. I want you to notice all the colors and the textures. See the steam coming off of it. See that perfectly cooked piece of prime rib. Any other food that's on that plate, I want you to just notice it. Notice how good it looks. Let your mouth water. And imagine that you can even smell this food. It just smells so good. And notice how much you want it, how much you desire it. And I want you to imagine that you pick up your fork and knife and you cut off a nice piece of this prime rib. And you put it in your mouth. You savor it, chew it slowly, enjoy it. Notice the texture of it, the warmth, all of the flavors, the good juiciness of the meat. And swallow that piece of meat. And then I want you to pick up your plate, walk over to the trash can, and throw it in there. And what are the feelings that come up? What are you thinking right now? What are the feelings?
Well, it's funny, I got teary. I felt it, just eating it. And then throwing it out was like, what a huge waste.
Yes.
And yeah, what a huge waste. But I also picked up that there's a connection to my dad by eating this meat.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, okay. So, all right. So sit with this feeling for a moment, noticing the connection to your dad. And what is the feeling that comes up around that connection?
I think it's love. It's he loved it, he modeled it, and I have followed suit. So yeah. So throwing it out was like
Throwing out his love.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. All right, so I want you to again visualize this plate of prime rib back on the table in front of you. I want you to see it in front of you again. And then what we would want to do here is the ball of light, because we have that memory with your dad, this wonderful memory of the love. So just imagine, and you can take your hands if you want, and I want you to scoop out of that prime rib all of those feelings of love, all of those good memories with your dad. I want you to scoop out all of that love, all of these good feelings. Just scoop it, scoop it, scoop it. And imagine as you're scooping all these feelings out, that they start to form into this beautiful ball of white light. It's like a glittery white ball. Scooping all those feelings out. And I want you to take that beautiful ball of light with all of this love, all this connection to your dad. I want you to place it inside of your heart. And as you place it inside of your heart, I want you to feel your whole body just filled with this memory of love, with this wonderful, wonderful connection. And remembering the good flavor of this prime rib, how delicious it is, how much you love the taste of it. And I want you to picture your dad in front of you. And I want you to take this beautiful ball of light. I want you to pass it over to him. Let him receive this ball of light. And as he does, he's receiving all of this love. All of the love that he shared with you, he's receiving it back. So just see the look on his face. See how happy he is to receive this from you. How good it is for him to feel all of this love, being filled with these memories. And then imagine that he passes that ball back to you. And as you receive this beautiful ball of light, again, you're filled with all these wonderful feelings, all of these loving feelings, all of this connection, just filling your whole body. It feels so good to have all of these feelings inside of you. And then pass that ball back to him again. Share with him this love again. Share with him these memories, this connection, how much you appreciate your time with him. And remembering this prime rib and how good it tastes. Share with him all those good flavors, all the good memories of this food. See how happy he is to receive that, how good it feels. And then he's going to pass that ball of light back to you. And just start passing it back and forth. Back and forth. And every time you receive that ball of light, you're just flooded with all of this love and all of these wonderful memories. Every time he receives it, he's filled with the love, all the gratitude, just loving this connection, loving this memory. Just pass that ball back and forth, back and forth. And then when you receive it for the final time, I want you to pull that ball of light back into your chest, pulling all of these good feelings, all of this love, all of these memories inside of you. Where they belong. They belong in your heart. These memories, all of these feelings belong to you, and you can access them at any time. And I want you to come back to this prime rib that's on your table, this delicious prime rib. I want you to look down at it again. Notice how it looks, the colors, the textures. Notice the smell. Notice your desire for it. And I want you to, again, take another bite of this prime rib, savoring it, taking your time, enjoying this bite. And after you swallow this bite, I want you to pick up your plate, walk over to the trash can, throw it inside. And I want you to start tapping through the points now. And just think about wasting this food. Think about throwing this food out, what it means to waste this food. And go ahead and repeat after me. I will put you on mute real quick. Okay, I got you. All right. So go ahead and just repeat after me. What a waste. It's such a waste to throw this food out. Oh, I don't want to throw it away. It's so good. Feels like I'm throwing my dad's love away. And that's not right. It's not right to waste this food. I don't want to throw it away. It's perfectly good food. It just doesn't feel right to get rid of it. It's too special. I just want to save it for later. But here it is in the trash. It's such a waste. But I recognize that sometimes I eat too much. And I know that my dad's love is not in the food. This food reminds me of him. And that's okay. But I can access those memories at any time. I don't need the food to feel his love. His love lives inside of me. So I can be okay letting this go. I can have a little bit and then throw the rest away. It all ends up as waste at the end of the day. Whether it goes in the garbage or in my body, it's all waste at the end of the day. It's all trash. Whether it's in the trash or on my ass. So I think I can let this go. I don't have to eat all this food right now. There's always more that I can have later. I can just eat until I'm satisfied. And I don't have to throw it away. I can save the leftovers for another time. But I give myself permission to listen to my body and honor what it needs. I can listen to it when I've had enough. I can respect my body's signals. Because that really allows me to enjoy the food. I don't enjoy it when I eat too much. It doesn't feel good to be stuffed. So I give myself permission to have just enough. And it's okay to let the rest go. Whether I save it for later or throw it away. It's just food. It's not love. I'm not throwing away anything meaningful. Everything that matters is already inside of me. Good, Lori. All right, so take a break from tapping. Keep your eyes closed for me. And I want you to, again, picture that plate of prime rib in front of you. I want you to just notice how it looks. Notice how it smells. I want you to, again, take a nice bite of that prime rib. Imagine how it tastes. Imagine how it feels in your mouth. All of the textures, the warmth of it. And then I want you to, again, pick up that plate, walk over to the trash, and put the rest of that plate in the trash. And just notice how you feel now. Notice if you're still having that anxiety around getting rid of the food, if there's any other feelings that come up, or if it just feels neutral to throw it away. And when you're ready, if you'll open your eyes for me and take yourself off mute, I'd like to check in with you and just see what you're feeling right now.
Um, it's I felt that it was food for my body, not food for my soul in the sense.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny though, because the last time I thought, oh good, I can just cut it in half and I can save that piece for later and that's okay. And then you told me to throw it out and I went, oops. You know, like that. So I noticed the resistance again. So that was interesting. Um, but yeah, that was really powerful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I think yeah, yours is kind of a combo there, right? Because you have that memory with your dad.
Yeah.
So the ball of light, I did a little combo thing to try to put those techniques together, to do the ball of light and throwing the food away. But of course, when we do the ball of light, we can go more in depth with that and tapping on the aspects of the food and everything and getting that craving down to a zero for your tie to that specific food. Um, but yeah, I think that's a key component there is recognizing, the feelings, the love is not in the food because we have that connection and you go throw it away, it's like, oh no, I'm throwing away my dad's love. I'm throwing away our
Uh,
relationship, right?
well, there's two things that came up actually. I said love, but actually there was also safety because
Yes.
I remember him holding me and I could hear his voice and this man was staring at me in a way it was uncomfortable, but my dad made me feel safe from that
Mm.
guy. Yeah, that was like I was just young.
Mm-hmm.
So his voice and yeah, so it love
Yeah.
and safety.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers in there. A lot
Yeah.
of layers in that. So, that lesson four that you just got to is kind of what we just did. It's called don't clean your plate. I'm pretty sure that's lesson four. And that, you'll want to actually do this with actual food. So have a meal that you like and practice actually throwing it in the garbage. Because since you have this desire to, eat big meals and eat big portions, it's usually kind of tied to this programming that we have about not wanting to waste food. Um, all this programming that we get from our parents about, they're starving kids and, all this kind of stuff. So by doing that module and actually throwing the food away, it will bring to light what that programming is specifically for you. So whatever those messages are that come up, like you said, I don't want to waste this. All of those thoughts are specifically the things that you'll need to target and clear out so that it neutralizes that desire to overeat, right? And have such a big plate. Um, there's that aspect of it. And I know you mentioned at the beginning, you said, you're not even sure what portions to eat and all of that. There is a class that I did last month. It's in the tapping circle and the replays on restoring your metabolism. And so it's got some basic eating guidelines in there that talks about like portion sizes. And there's another class I did in December about how to avoid holiday weight gain. And I also gave some eating recommendations in there. And so it's very generic stuff about, just how to build a balanced plate, focusing on protein first and then, filling up on produce, getting in fiber, that kind of stuff. So it just gives you a good baseline of how to build a healthy plate and what that looks like. And I think that'd be a good place to start for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, you're so welcome. Any other questions you have for me or anything?
Yeah, I if I got a big thing of prime rib, I would have a really hard time throwing that out with the price of beef these days.
Well, you know what? Prime rib would be a real hard one.
Yeah.
Like a good cut of meat is very difficult to throw away. So I don't know if I would even recommend that myself. Maybe pick
Oh,
something else.
okay. Thank you.
All right, Maddie, I see your hand up.
Casey, a couple of us were trying to help one of our buddies with eating because she's lonely, and I sometimes do that as well. And we didn't really know how to go about this. Is that echo tapping or ball of? It's not ball of light, but is it echo? It's just emotional eating. How would you go about
Yeah.
tapping for that?
Yes. So eating to curb the loneliness is definitely emotional eating. So you would use the echo tapping for that. So you would want to push the food away or access that feeling of loneliness. And then you want to trace that back to when you were a little girl. Try to go back as far as you can and when you remember feeling that way. Because what happens, the whole deal with the echoes is that when we're children, our child mind, the way we perceive things is very exaggerated, I guess you could say. And also, we have lots of traumatic things that happen to us when we're kids. But, being lonely, for example, when you're a child feels very unsafe because we need people to protect us. We're not going to survive on our own when we're little. And so it helps to kind of see where that pattern came from, like the earliest memory that you have of feeling that way and then work with that echo, heal that echo, let her say what she needed to say, express what it was that she needed, And then we give that to her, right? We give her that comfort and that reassurance. And so in doing that and doing the echo tapping and bringing that healing around it, what it does is it neutralizes the echo. So when you're in your adult life now and you have those feelings of loneliness that get triggered, what happens is it triggers that little girl who's very needy, right? She needs support, she needs love, she needs care, she needs all of these things. And she's screaming inside of us. That's why that urge to eat feels so strong and so hard to resist. But when we give her what she needs, we kind of calm her down. So that way we can face our loneliness, those lonely feelings, as the adult version of ourselves. And we can say, okay, well, what is it that I really need right now? Maybe I just need a hot cup of tea. Maybe I need to go text a friend, right? And it gives you the ability to function from your adult mind to soothe yourself and give yourself exactly what it is that you need rather than having that reaction of going to food for relief. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
No, you're so welcome. All right. Jill, I saw your hand up first, I think. And you're on mute.
Yeah, that was very powerful for me. I was sitting there sobbing. I I grew the home I grew up in, my mother wasn't there for me, but we had a housekeeper who cooked, and so she was the relationship I counted on because I didn't really my mother just wasn't emotionally available. And I just realized that, some of the food, the dinners I like were meals that she cooked for the family as for us as children,
Mm.
and that I guess I need to do the ball of light. I don't know what I need to do, the ball of light or the echo. I mean, the things I like, chili con carne and the chicken, all the things were things that she used to make. Meatloaf. I really miss her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when it comes to the specific foods like that, I just want to give you a hug right now. Aw. When it comes to those specific foods, definitely do the ball of light because our memory links those good times and those good feelings with the food, right? Because we're very sensory people. So smells, sounds, taste get linked to memories, get linked to people. So yeah, I would recommend doing the ball of light on those and maybe pick like your top two favorite foods and do those first because sometimes, it kind of collapses the things beneath it. So I would pick the ones that stand out to you the most, that have like the biggest tie to you, that you feel the biggest craving for, that really remind you of her and her love. Do the ball of light on those and then see how that goes. See if you still have the same desire for those foods, if you're able to eat less of them. And then after you've done the ball of light, if you're still feeling like there's a little lack of control around eating those foods, then you can try to push the food away and do echo tapping and see what else might be there.
And like the one thing she used to make, chili con carne, I mean, I haven't made that for 30 years. So would I have to make it and then throw it away?
Mm.
I'd actually have to find a recipe for it.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Yeah, like I said, I'd start with ball of light on those, on just like removing the feelings from the food, before throwing it away. The throwing away, um, that's more for when we're having issues with portion control, when you find yourself overeating. When you have a plate of food and you've eaten half of it and you're full, but you feel like you have to eat the rest of it right now, that's when throwing the food away helps us.
So I can if I made the chili con carne, I
Mhm.
wouldn't have to throw it away. What would I do? I would do the ball of light and
I'd say,
then,
I'd say do the ball of light on it first. Do the ball of light. And then see if you can have like a normal portion of it and see how that feels. If you feel like you can just eat a normal portion and enjoy it and save some for later, then your work is done with that. But if
okay.
you do the ball of light and then you have, a normal portion, or you make yourself a big plate and you feel like you're still overeating it, that's where we need to go a little deeper with it.
And that's when you do the clean the plate
Mm-hmm.
and throw the food away. And
Yes.
then I don't do the ball of light again. I just throw the food away.
You would just throw the food away. Yeah.
Okay.
So the example that we did today was a little, like I said, it was a little hodgepodge. I combined a couple of different techniques. Typically, when we throw the food away, like I said, you're dealing with that urge to overeat, that urge to clean your plate, that feeling like I have to eat it because it's in front of me. I have to eat it now because I'm not going to get any more. That's the feeling that we're dealing with when we throw the food away. So typically what you do when you throw it away is you just notice those bad feelings that come up. I can't believe I'm wasting this food. What's mom gonna think? All of those kinds of things. You start tapping through those feelings. That's the normal process. And then you start, bringing questions into it. Well, where did this belief come from? Who taught me this? Am I really saving the kids in Africa if I eat this? And then, reframing that it's okay to just listen to my body. It's okay if I save some for later.
Okay. But for now, just try to do the ball of light. Okay.
I do the ball of light. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Marlene, I see your hand up.
Um, my calendar's showing me that there's another buddy call at 5 o'clock. Or is there another buddy call right after this one?
No, no, ma'am.
Okay. All right. It might be the time zones. Something happened
Maybe.
there.
Yeah, just the
Anyways,
one today. And then our next buddy call is it's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday.
thank you so much, Casey. You
You're
just
welcome.
rock this world. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Hmm.
you. Thank you. All right, ladies. Well, we are right at the hour. Were there any final questions before we wrap up? No. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciate you. I appreciate everybody coming on and sharing and volunteering today. I know it's so helpful to everybody to hear, all of our wins, our experiences, and just to work through things together. Everybody gets something out of this. So thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you all soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.